We can go ahead and start the meeting. It is now 7:30. And we will begin by a roll call. And if you would, identify yourself and confirm that you can the others. All right, and I'll begin. And I'm Ronald Crusher. Yeah, I can hear Mr. Lee.
John Lee, and I can hear everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes. I'm able to hear everyone.
All right, and let's see, Mr. Adams.
This is Glenn Adams, and I can hear everyone.
Okay, Mr. Show.
This is Kenneth Choate, and I can hear everyone fine.
Okay, we are having our meeting, and we have some items before us, but I will turn the meeting over to Mr. Cook to address the issues of the virtual meeting. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If there is no objection from the Board of Adjustment and Appeal members and subject to Executive Order number 71, let the minutes reflect that the members have determined that it is necessary that this meeting be held electronically to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Are there any objections? Hearing none, let the minutes reflect the board has made the determination to conduct this meeting electronically. I do want to remind everyone that each vote must be by roll call vote. The chairman will call your names, at which time you will provide your vote. Prior to making a motion or a second, or asking a question or making a comment, please identify yourself. Mr. Chairman, the next thing we have on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from December 29, 2020 meeting.
Thank you. You were sent the minutes. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Mr. Crutcher, this is Kenneth Choate. I'll second the motion to approve the minutes.
Motion's been made and seconded. Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I will begin with the roll call vote, beginning with Mr. Scholl.
This is Kenneth Choate. I vote to approve the minutes.
Mr. Lee.
This is John Lee. I vote to approve the minutes.
Mr. Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes. I vote to approve the minutes.
Mr. Adams.
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote to approve the minutes.
This is Ronald Crutcher, and I vote to approve the minutes. The minutes are unanimously approved. We'll move on to the appeals that are before us today, and I will turn it over to Mr. Cook to give us the staff recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to reflect that adequate public notice is given both to the home builders and to the public. Without objection, we will combine the appeals from Aspen Construction and Crescent Homes and hear them as a whole because the appellants submit the same two arguments to the county's assessment of the Williamson County Education Impact Fee. Let the minutes reflect no additional documentation or explanation was submitted by either Aspen Construction or Crescent Homes. First argument the appellants make is they have obtained vested rights under the Vested Property Rights Act of 2014. Therefore, the lots at issue would not be subject to the impact fee. The Vested Property Rights Act provides that should a developer receive preliminary plat approval from the local authority, the development standards in place shall remain the same through the course of the development. Appellants argue that the impact fee is the development standard, and therefore the impact fee is not applicable to these developments that receive prior preliminary plat approval. However, it's staff's position the Vested Property Rights Act is triggered if the impact fee is a development standard, which the Act specifically references standards and regulations concerning the actual development of the property to include local regulations concerning stormwater requirements, local construction standards for buildings, streets, alleys, curbs, sidewalks, and lot sizes. All these things actually have to do with the actual development of the property. The impact fee has nothing to do with the actual development of the property. In fact, these developers can develop the property without ever having to pay the impact fee. I do want to maintain that should the board find that the impact fee is a development regulation triggering Vested Property Rights, we maintain that the applicant has provided no evidence that it received any approvals from the planning department or planning commission for the property at issue prior to the adoption and implementation of the educational impact fee. The appellate's second argument is that the impact fee is required to be calculated on each subdivision. The proceeds received from that particular subdivision is required to be used on educational capital projects for that specific development. The private act provides that it is the intent of the act to grant the Williamson County legislative body the authority to establish the procedure or system to collect fees from a developer on any new residential development so as to require the developer to share in the burdens of growth by paying his pro rata share for the cost of public improvements. The private act does not require the county to define specific zones to accommodate each subdivision. In fact, the private act grants the county's legislative body broad power to implement an impact fee system. To support its decision to have a countywide fee and based on detailed studies supporting the impact and the need for expanded or new educational facilities, the legislative body has determined that a countywide impact fee is needed because of the ever-changing school districts, as well as the fact that development in one area of the county has an effect on the development on the other area. For these reasons, Mr. Chairman, we ask for these appeals be denied. I will ask whether there's anyone present on the call that represents these appellants. Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, we these appeals be denied in whole.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. You have heard the staff's position on these appeals. Are there any questions of the staff before we proceed to vote? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion on the appeals.
Mr. Chairman, this is John Lee, and I move we deny the appeals.
Mr. Chairman, this is Josh Hughes, and I'll second that motion.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. Are there any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we will take a roll call vote, beginning with Mr. Adams.
This Glenn Adams and I vote to deny the appeals.
Mr. Lee,
This is John Lee, and I vote to deny the appeal.
Mr. Hughes,
This is Josh Hughes. I vote for the motion to deny the appeal.
Mr. Show,
This is Kenneth Shelton. I vote for the motion to deny the appeals.
this is Ronald Crutcher, and I vote for the motion, which is to deny the appeals. All members have voted. The vote was unanimous that we deny the appeals. I will turn it back over to Mr. Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next appeal we have is for Celebration Homes. Concerns Lot 408 of Stevens Valley and Lot 7032 in Wilkinson Place. Celebration Homes provided no explanation. No explanation for the appeals that they have submitted. Based on the previous appeals submitted by the applicant, the county maintains the impact fee is not a development regulation or development standard, and therefore vested rights do not attach to these lots. Further, the county maintains that it adopted educational impact fee in accordance with the authority granted under the Chapter 120 of the 1987 Private Acts. There is no requirement the county create a new impact fee for each subdivision, and the proceeds raised must be spent in a manner that only benefits that particular subdivision. And because we have no basis for their appeal, Mr. Chairman, we ask for these appeals be denied. I will ask whether there's a representative for the appellant present on the line. Hearing none, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Are there any questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and I'll go ahead and make a motion that we deny the appeals.
Proper motion? Do I hear a second?
Mr. Crutcher, this is Kenneth Cho, and I'll second the motion to deny the appeal.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded. Are there any other questions before we vote? Hearing none, we will do a roll call vote. I will again, this is Ronald Crutcher, and I vote for the motion, which is to deny. Mr. Hughes?
This is Josh Hughes. I vote for the motion to deny.
Mr. Lee?
This is John Lee, and I vote for the motion to deny.
Mr. Adams?
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote for the motion to deny.
Show?
This is Kenneth Cho, and I vote for the motion to deny the appeal.
The vote was unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, you have to,
I'm sorry.
never mind, go ahead.
All right. Was unanimous to, for the motion, which is to deny. Is there any more business, Mr. Cook?
We have no further appeals for you today, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, this is Joe Horn, and we will be meeting again on January 28th, same time, and we'll be meeting via this mechanism.
Okay. If there is no other business, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr.
Everyone
Chairman.
have a safe day.
Yeah, you too, Glenn.
Good week.
Yeah.